This is a 2009 Aprilia Sport City 125 scooter. This is what Lauren drives every day back and forth to work. I enjoy this bike, it's a whole lot of fun. There's one thing that I have a really big problem with, and that's that it's way too quiet. This is Lauren's 2009 Aprilia Sport City 125. It's a really cool and fun scooter, but the problem I have with it is it's dangerously quiet. As with most scooters, they have a very, very restrictive exhaust pipe on it, which I believe this one has a catalytic converter in it. We're going to shed this thing off, and we're going to try to find us some nice straight-through muffler pipe that fits on it. But unfortunately, when it comes to these things, they're not extremely popular here in America. So I don't know what a lot of the specs are on the exhaust pipe diameters and stuff to find the appropriate things for it. I don't want to spend a lot of money on an aftermarket exhaust because I didn't spend that much money on the scooter to begin with. I mean, the scooter was, only a little over $2,000. So I can't see myself spending $500 to $700 on a complete exhaust system when it really doesn't need anything quite that much, when we're only looking to make a little more noise. So we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to get some numbers off of this thing, and figure out the pipe diameter, and how much this thing weighs, and how much weight we might be saving by replacing the exhaust. So I removed the muffler from the exhaust, so that way we can measure the exhaust flange on the header pipe to figure out what the exact diameter is, so I can buy an exhaust muffler for this bike. An aftermarket one that'll give it a little bit of a rumble, not be too obnoxiously noisy, but just make the bike loud enough that you can tell she's there. Very often when she comes to my office, I can't even tell that she's pulled up, because the cars that pull up are noisier than this thing is. So we're going to give it a little bit of noise by attaching an aftermarket exhaust. But this muffler, I believe it has a catalytic in it. This sucker weighs about 20 pounds, just under 20 pounds. It's extremely heavy. I mean, it feels like one of my dumbbells, it's so heavy. The header output over here, what the muffler attaches to, is 32 millimeters in diameter. It looks like I need a new battery in this caliper. But we got 32 millimeters on there. So I should be able to find some type of aftermarket pit bike exhaust or something that's fairly cheap that I can bolt right up to this, give this bike a little more noise, perhaps a little bit of a throaty growl, and I think that would be really cool, and it'll make the bike a little more obvious when she's out in traffic, and hopefully a little bit safer. So anyway, we'll do that on a future project. So let's go over some of these numbers again. The output diameter is 32 millimeters. I have not been able to find that anywhere on the internet. And the muffler is almost 20 pounds in weight. So we're going to do a significant weight savings. The pit bike exhausts are also a lot cheaper. So I've noticed the Sport City exhausts that you can buy aftermarket for this bike have been to the tune of some ridiculous amount of money, like anywhere between $500 and $700, and I can't understand that. And I've seen some cheaper pipes, but a pit bike exhaust is a lot cheaper. I can get something off of CRF 80 or something that'll fit this diameter and be just fine, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this thing put together, and we're going to upgrade it, and, it might even make a little more power at the same time. So watch for a future video on that.